Today, I'm going to tell you how I got into the bounce house rental business. It's got a lot of twists and turns, some happy accidents, a total amount of cluelessness. It's going to be great. So here we go. It's story time with Nick Glassett. All right, so I'm about to tell you the story of how I got into the bounce house business, okay? And along the way, I tell the story, I teach you a whole bunch of stuff too, because that's just who I am. That's what I love to do, is I love to teach, I love to storytell. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Before we jump into like the story, I wanted to kind of film this and give you guys a little bit of context, okay? So as of filming this, it's April 5th, 2023, all right? And then we have 10 total employees, okay? So there's 8 guys that work in the field. There's 1 gal, her name is Cassie, that handles the clients, right? So she kind of works in the office. She works from home, but she works in the office. And then, of course, there's me. So behind me is the warehouse, or a little bit of a corner of it, okay? So these are all units that went out last weekend that the guys are gonna be cleaning, and then you see stuff up on the racks. At the end of the video, stay tuned, because I give you a tour of the entire thing, the whole warehouse, the office, the whole 9. It's gonna be awesome, okay? But we have a total of 56, number 57 actually comes today. So we have 57 inflatables, 2 foam machines, tables, chairs, all sorts of crazy stuff. And in that back corner way over there, I'll show you that at the end of the video, but that is where we keep all of our Christmas light stuff. So we have 200 different houses of Christmas lights over there in the corner. Okay, enough talking. Please go subscribe. Let's get into the story. But before we do, hit the subscribe button. I love to teach people. I love to invest in people, but I need more subscribers to do that. So hit the subscribe button so you can be one of the people that I invest in. Absolutely love it. If you have a question, drop it in the comments. I answer every comment. And then, of course, you guys can DM me on Instagram anytime you want to, at Nick Glass. Okay, here we go. Let's get into it. The story of how I got into the bounce house business. All right, so it all began back in 2019. It's summertime. It's like probably June, I think, okay? I work for a shoe store called Journeys, okay? At the time, I'm a district manager. I'm overseeing 25 freaking stores across 3 states. It's a job that I used to absolutely be obsessed with, that I now had kind of fallen out of love with, right? I really wanted to be an entrepreneur. I was a little bit nervous that like entrepreneurship was cool, so I just wanted to do it because it was cool. But like, it's just all I could think about, it was in my veins, in my bones, in my blood, my DNA, okay? So one day I'm at work, I'm in Biloxi, Mississippi, I'm in the back room, okay? I'm doing my district manager thing, whatever I was doing. I was like talking to an employee or something. The phone rings. It's my wife, okay? She doesn't call me a ton while I'm at work, but whatever. I answer the phone and she says, hey, kind of crazy thing here. What do you think if I go buy a bounce house? I'm like, oh, what? So she basically says, I'm tired of paying the guy that we rent ours from, which I don't know why. He was so cheap, it was crazy. But she's tired of paying the guy that we rent from. And they didn't do like an outstanding job, right? She was never overly impressed. And she also knows that I wanted to start my own business. So she thought, like, why don't you just start renting it out on the side and you can start a little business with it. Side hustle type thing, if I remember right. Okay, so I'm all for this. At this time, I'm trying to figure out how the hell I can start a business so I can get the hell out of being an employee, right? Nothing against where I was working. I wouldn't be happy no matter where I was working, right? I don't like rules, and I don't like other people's opinions telling me I can and can't do this or that. Like, it's just not who I am. Like, I'm a leader. I'm an idea guy. I'm a doer. I want to just move. I don't like asking for permission. I'm an entrepreneur, right? So I'm like, and for the record, I know zero, zilch, not a nothing about anything to do with any bounce houses, period, at all whatsoever. I cannot even tell you the color, size, shape, or even where they were set up in our yard for our parties. And I was at the freaking party, and those things were generally in our yard, if I remember right, for like 2 or 3 days. I literally couldn't tell you a single detail of any slide we ever had ever, right? I know nothing, but I'm all for this, right? So I said, yeah, cosign, let's go. So my wife and our son, who was like 4 or 5 at the time, jumped in the Armada and drove down to Spacewalk, okay? So Michelle had found on Facebook Marketplace that Spacewalk sells used inflatables for a very good deal. So she struck up a conversation on there, kind of made the deal, and then called me. I co-signed. So she says, cool, I'm gonna go to Spacewalk and buy this bounce house. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, sounds great, whatever. So then she gets over there. A couple hours later, she calls me. I don't fully remember this conversation as vividly, but she calls me and she says, hey, I'm here, and the guys are telling me that if we want to rent these out, that we really need a water slide one too, like a water one too, because it's so hot in Louisiana, which it is, that the bounce house won't rent very good in the summer. And I'm buying like this orange bounce house, this orange dinosaur bounce house. A water one will be better for summer. She says like she's worked these crazy deals with them. We're gonna get to right. So if I remember correctly, it's like $850 for these two. Okay, one's a slip and slide, like 30 feet long. The other one's a 15 by 15 bounce house, just straight regular bounce house. $800, 850, something like that. I'm like, yeah, that seems like a really good deal because I thought these things were thousands of dollars. So I said, yeah, just get them both, right? And at this time, I kind of remember being like excited, like the juices were flowing, the creative juices were flowing, and I was gonna have an outlet to kind of get out some of my entrepreneurial desires, so to speak. So as I kind of like ideate on how this whole thing is going to go and where to market and what to do and should I start an Instagram? No, I'm just kidding. I was super stoked to start an Instagram. I thought I was going to be like a bounce house influencer or something back then. But anyways, as I'm kind of going through all of that, something kind of pops in my mind where I'm like thinking maybe if I start this business, it will help me scratch that entrepreneurial itch that I had. And then I can kind of work on that little business, maybe scale it a little bit, but just have a good time, do my own marketing, do my own logos, and just have fun with all the entrepreneur stuff that I think I might want to do. And maybe it will get rid of these feelings and I can just go back to being a good employee. Like there's a piece of me, even to this day, where I kind of miss being a happy employee, right? Your life is so much simpler and easier. Like you have a payroll problem, you call the payroll department. You have an HR problem, you call the HR department. Like you have a boss you can bounce ideas off of. You have a boss that's going to tell you you're doing something that's idiotic. Like there's a lot of things that go on in employee life that definitely, you take for granted. But so at that time, I'm kind of thinking maybe I can just kind of do both, right? Double dip or kind of dip my toe into the entrepreneur world with this bounce house thingy and then be an employee. Okay, so as I'm getting all this together, like I get home from work that day and these things are stuffed in the back of the Armada. I don't know how they got two in there. But anyway, they're just in the back of my wife's Armada and like we have to learn like what the hell to do. And it like came with a blower and like I have like hooking together 25-foot extension cords that I have at the house to get power to it. And then she had videoed them rolling it. And so like, I don't remember all this super vividly, but like, right, kind of going through all that process. And so I have like a dolly that's like a $25 dolly from Home Depot with like solid steel wheels, teeny tiny, just terrible, right? So I'm thinking these things are super massive and heavy and beyond me. But anyways, kind of fast forward. So I'm driving to work, okay? At this day, I was driving to Mobile, Alabama. That's where I was working that day. And just trying to brainstorm. And I'd been trying to brainstorm names for the company for the last few days, right? And so I'd had an online blog that used to be called Origin Leadership. What I was actually trying to do was build that into being a consulting agency so I could start a consulting agency and leave my job. So I started as a blog and I was working, getting business content on there and kind of like inspirational style content. Or if you guys are subscribed to my newsletter, which if you're not, you should. So it's in the description, go click that. But the writing style was all very similar where it's kind of inspirational but informative, right? Educational as well. Anyways, trying to get grow that blog to where it's big, then I can flip it into a consulting agency. That was the whole master plan, right? But I'm like, cool, I can start working to make a little bit side money with these bounce house things, but I know I got to name the company so I can have a logo and like, right? I know the basics of all of that. So I had started brainstorming using the same tactics I did to name Origin Leadership back when the blog was called that. And I came up with some ideas that I wanted to work that were terrible, that were god awful. One of them was every time I fly, like, right, you jump off the bounce house and fly, I guess. I don't know. But I was trying to make it a pun for every time I die, which is one of my favorite heavy metal bands. Anyways, that was a terrible idea and everybody hated it. So as I'm driving to Mobile, Alabama, just kind of thinking about this on my head, this is long enough ago, I believe, that I was listening to an iPod. And on my iPod, right, it's just on shuffle of God knows how many songs are on this thing. And a Wu-Tang song comes on called Gravel Pit. Wu-Tang's got a near and dear spot in my heart. At the very beginning of the song, there's like a spoken word part where RZA, and in it, the RZA says, it's the jump off. And like, it hits me like this strike of lightning. I'm like, oh my God, dude, the jump off, like for a bounce house company, like it's, right? So I thought it was fucking genius. So I had texted my good friend Beth, who now owns slapco.com, stickers, vinyl printing, all that stuff. So if you ever see me posting about stickers, it's Beth, right? So if you need stickers, go to slapco.com. If you need vinyl banners, anything like that, they're badass. Her and her husband Alex do an absolutely phenomenal job. I can't speak about them enough, okay? But anyways, so I text Beth. We both worked for Journeys at the time. We're coworkers. And so I said, I'm going to name the bounce house. And she knew that it was going down, right? I told her all about it. And so I said, I think I'm going to name the bounce house company The Jump Off. And she like instantly loved it. I don't remember what the reply was, but it was like, OMG, that's it. That's phenomenal. Or that's perfect. Or that's fucking great. I don't remember what it was, right? But it was just like, boom. So then I text my wife. My wife loved it. Dope. Okay, so then I get to work. I do my thing, whatever. Maybe that night, maybe that weekend, I'm not sure. I get on Canva. At the time, I had a free Canva account. And I start dinking around in Canva, trying to make a logo. What comes out is almost this. This exact logo, this exact one. The new update has a sweet black line on the outside. Really helps it give more contrast. It's like a tattoo, right? It needs more black. But this is like the OG one, right? And so I made that. I don't remember how long it took me. Maybe an hour and a half. I have no idea. I'm not super great at design, but I definitely don't like to pay people to do things for me for two reasons. One, because I think I can do it myself, which I almost usually can. Number two, they don't ever do it right. No offense, people, but you don't ever do it right. Okay, so I make this logo. I start a Facebook page. I start the Instagram account. That's probably at that point in time all I did. And then posted both of the rentals on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, right? We were doing all weekend rentals for the price of one day. So I don't remember why we did that. Now that I'm thinking through this, I do not remember why we did that. Other than like we had lives and jobs and shit. So what we would do is we would go drop it off on Friday night after I got home from work. And then we go pick it up on Sunday, I think evening, if I remember right. But we did that because that's what the guy that we rented from did, I think. So fast forward to now, I'm the only person in my market that does hourly rentals. We do hourly rentals, 6-hour rentals. And we do leave a lot of stuff overnight for free just because it's easier on us. But we do 6-hour rentals. Every other company in my area does Friday to Sunday for the price of a day. Save for a couple different people that will do a 1-day or a 2-day rental, right? But they're really trying to double down and get a 2-day rental because they don't flip units. They don't rent the same unit Saturday and Sunday both, like we do. Like last weekend, we had 3 units that went Saturday. We had to go pick them up and then take them to a new place Sunday. It's called flipping. It's the greatest thing ever. Everybody argues against me, and I don't understand why you argue against me on flipping, okay? You didn't start a business, right? It is hard. It is hard. Flipping's hard, right? You got to clean shit on site, and you got to make a route that makes sense to go get these units, and it can be a pain sometimes. But you didn't start a business to be easy. You started a business to get more money. So like double down and get more money. Flip units. I don't understand this. Anyways, we're doing Friday to Sunday because that's what everybody else does, I think. And things go well, like whatever, right? So we rented out a couple times. First rental actually was 4th of July weekend. Was the water slide. No surprise. It was too hot for a bounce house. And I remember we dropped it off. It was like right around the corner from our house. It was super close. Let me rewind a little bit before I tell that story. So they're heavy, right? Bounce houses are heavy. Like if you're watching this video, you already know that, I'm sure. So me being Mr. Creative and Mr. Independent, I did no research on anything. I just started trying to figure out how to move bounce houses myself, right? Like as if I were as if I invented them almost is kind of how I just attack everything. But I bought the cheapest one I could. I did all sorts of market research, got the cheapest one I could. But it's like a, what do they call that? It's a wagon, but it's like a landscaping wagon. It's like for your house, like not like a landscape company, but it's like a wagon with inflatable wheels, okay? And so I buy this, I think it was $100 or $80, maybe $120, something like that. I had to put it all together. It's going to be fantastic, right? I got the one without sides. I couldn't decide if I wanted the one with sides or without sides, but I figured you don't know how it's going to be rolled, so let me get no sides. Brilliant, right? So we have that stuffed in the back of the Armada with the water slide, the slip and slide, right? We get to the drop off right around the corner from the house. We bring the whole fucking army, okay? It's me, it's my wife, and then in town visiting my wife's uncle and aunt were in town. So Uncle Paul went with us too, and then I'm sure the kids were there. I don't know. Maybe the kids stayed home with Aunt Janet. I'm not positive. But anyways, we all go and we set this thing up, right? It took like 2 seconds. It was so easy. And I was like, wow, this is going to be this business is way fucking better than I thought it was going to be. Like, that was so easy. There was some scary stuff, right? We're thinking that this slip and slide that's maybe 200 pounds is like 500 pounds. So if we don't roll it out of the Armada and land it right on that wagon, we're fucked. Okay. All super funny now. Okay. But at the time, right? So we think it's like this high pressure moment, right? So we go set up. This lady loves us. It was a cheap price. She couldn't believe we're the only person that had anything last second. We were there within freaking 30 minutes of her renting. Okay. I remember getting back in the Armada and driving away. Shit, we may have taken 2 cars now that I'm thinking through this, because the slide and the wagon and everything was in the back of the Armada. So we probably took 2 automobiles. But anyways, we're all getting ready to drive away, and there's this weird feeling I have. Okay, this is the first time I've ever rented anything out that I own. And so there's this weird feeling I have where I'm like, this is crazy. We're just going to drive away and leave this, in my head, multi-$1,000 thing that I own to this lady, and we're going to trust her to not steal it or pop it, or I don't freaking know what I was thinking. It was just a very, 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 very important moment in my life, especially in my party rental career. That first rental, driving away from it, like, I had this strange sense of pride and connection to the goofy little slip and slide, and it was kind of the beginning stages of where I'll say it like this, and it was not this romantic at that exact moment, okay? It took days and days, possibly weeks, maybe months for this to fully materialize, okay? But it kind of was, that moment was like the first time where I was kind of like, I think I might be into this, like this, or to say that differently, I think this is something I'm going to be interested in scaling. Like, this isn't just going to be some goofy little thing. I'm going to take this seriously type of thought, right? Anyways, we leave and we go home. Knowing nothing about anything, we did everything wrong, okay? I'm now going to outline all the things that we did wrong, not because I want to make myself look bad, but I want to do it for 2 reasons. Number one, because I want to teach you how to do things correctly, okay? But number 2, I also want to teach you how to do things quickly. Lean, Lean, like as easily and streamlined as possible, so you can get to operation, get to clients paying you, then learn the shit, not worry about learning everything before you launch, right? I'm trying to teach you here that it's okay to launch dirty and ugly and unexperienced. All right, that's what the other part of the lesson here. But the number one lesson here is I want you to do things properly. Okay, so did we have a rental agreement, aka a contract? I have no idea. I do know in those early days, though, I did have a rental contract that I made myself. Okay, I Googled to no end. Okay, to give a little bit of context to this, I did not know there was Facebook groups. I did not know there was insurance companies. I did not know there was resources. I did not know there was $1 million operations per year, or multi-million, should I say, operations per year. I didn't know this was a career. I did not know there was people that only did this. Okay, I was just kind of naively thinking that it's just a side hustle thing that you just do on the side while you do something else, right? So that everybody else kind of just had that mentality. The world is only this big if you think the world is this big, right? And that, at the time, I thought the inflatable industry was this big, okay? So as I learned more, right, the world expanded. But I don't know if we had that lady sign a rental agreement. I have no idea. I do know I had one very, very early on, though, all right? And like I said, I went and found it all myself, okay? So I'm going to go on a small little rant here, and this is an entrepreneurial rant, but I now have my own Facebook group. It's called Bounce House Business Mentors. I'm very strict about who gets in, meaning you have to answer all the questions and have to answer them appropriately in order to get in, right? I try to keep my group not as small as possible, but full with interested people as possible, right? Everybody that's in there is interested in one level or another of the inflatable business, okay? Once in there, you can just go post in there, I need a rental agreement, and 55 people will throw things at you. You can get mine out of my Bounce House guidebook, right? Link will be down in the description for that too. But my guidebook has that plus every other thing you need to do to start a step-by-step. It's got everything in the entire world in it, right? I created all that shit. I did not go download this from somebody else, okay? I Googled at no end until I could basically cobble together a rental agreement. Then I went and changed all the wording in it. Then I had a lawyer buddy look over it for free, okay, just to make sure that it's kind of like got the correct wording and verbiage in it or whatever. Made the tweaks, and then that's what we went with, okay? That's fine. That's fine. If you want to go write your own, that's totally fine. Just have the lawyer look at it. You can go get mine out of the guidebook if you want to. But the rant that I want to go on is when people come into the Facebook group, plural, right? There's more than just mine, but and they come in there and start complaining that it's so hard. They can't figure out how to fucking do. Like, dude, you're now an entrepreneur. There is no I can't. There is no I can't. Okay, you have to. And so I do get a little bit frustrated when people get in the groups and start saying shit like that, because I'm totally self-taught. I launched the jump off from 0 units to 12 units with nothing. No Facebook group, no blog posts, no YouTube videos watched, nothing. I taught it all to myself, all right? There was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of things that I could have done smarter, could have done better, had I known those resources existed. If I would have known those resources existed, yes, I absolutely would have used them, right? This is not some sort of badge of honor thing that I'm going on a rant here to say that I did it all by myself. Don't do that. You've got resources out there, use them. Don't be stupid, okay? But don't come in here also complaining, because I've got no remorse for you. I got no remorse for you, all right? Period, okay? Now, was I insured? Nope. Didn't even know that was a thing. Didn't even know that was a thing, okay? The jump off actually operated uninsured until somewhere in the neighborhood of 16, 17, 18 units. The only reason I thought I needed insurance was so I could get daycare and school rentals and church rentals. Every time somebody would approach me with that, or rent at a state park, right? Every time somebody would approach me with one of those, I had to turn that business down because I wasn't insured. So the only reason I got insurance was so I could get those rentals. So when I started pricing insurance, against how much extra money I thought I would bring in doing those events, which the math in my calculations at the time was roughly even. So I thought my insurance, right, my first premium cost me $2,600 a year. So I thought that was how much about roughly I would make doing those events. So I thought I'd break even, but then obviously I could market at those events with signs, banners, whatever. And so that way I could get more clients. Like I could grow market share. So dollars to dollars, I would break even, but I would get more market share out of it, get busier, so it would pay off in the end. That's why I got insured. After I got insured is when I found out, oh shit, if you get sued because somebody gets hurt, you're in big trouble. Like big trouble, as if you're uninsured, okay? So the advice I give everybody now is do not do a single rental until you're insured, okay? I always try to do the analogy that it's like car insurance, okay? I've been driving a car since I was 16. I'm now 38, okay? I've never, knock on wood, been in a car crash. So every dollar I've ever given to a car insurance company, which we have Progressive now, every dollar I've ever given to Progressive is for nothing, okay? But peace of mind and just in case. But we all for sure understand that you need car insurance because all you need is one fluke little thing and bang, you're in a car crash, and you know those medical bills can rack up quick, and obviously cars aren't cheap, so you insure your cars, okay? So that's why I say do not get into the bounce house rental industry without insurance, not even for one rental, because all it takes is one kid falling off and breaking his arm, his leg, his neck, for you to just imagine the lawsuit of a kid that falls off and paralyzes himself. Imagine the lawsuit. Potential. Huge. Don't risk it. Don't do it. Get insured, okay? Now, insurance now has gone up, okay? So if you want to get an insurance policy to start this business, it's probably $3,500 per year premium minimum. It's probably closer to $5,000 per year, okay? So I get people all the time, they're like, I just bought this bounce house and I want to start this business and I don't know how I'm going to make any money because insurance is $5,000 a year. The answer is you can't. You cannot make money with one bounce house. You just can't. The expenses are too high. You need to start with 3 to 5. Okay. Yes, I know that's expensive. Guess what? That's what business is. Business is expensive. It's hard to go into business. This is the same. This industry is the exact same. Okay. Don't do a single rental without insurance. Please think this through. All right. Now, I operated without it for way too long. Okay. So that's my big mistake, but it is what it is. Okay. So then I get insured, and instantly I'm like, oh my God. Like I feel like you lay in bed at night and think about the past mistakes that you've made and now you can't fall asleep. Going uninsured is like my number one. Like I regret it with every ounce of my being. I regret it. Okay. But at this point in time, cool. We're now insured. So let me kind of catch you up what's gone on since then. All right. So we bought those first 2 in roughly June-ish. Okay. The first rental was the 4th of July. The slip and slide went out a whole bunch. All right. Then it got not cold, but like it cools off in September in New Orleans where we live. So then boom, all of a sudden the bounce house rents and nobody rents the slip and slide. Okay. Now that I look back on it, like, duh, it totally makes sense. At the time I was a little frustrated. I had now at this point had the bounce house marked down to $100 because I just wanted it to go out. It was just, right. I was being dumb. I just didn't know the industry. But anyways, so now our little dyno bounce house starts going out. Okay. So that's super awesome. It's kind of a good little hustle, dude. It's not that hard. Now, at the time, it's such a small company. When a rental does come through, it's almost like a pain in my ass versus a celebration, just because it is so small. The scale that we're at is so small. But I still kind of roll my eyes that I got to go set this thing up on Saturday morning or Friday night. But like, let's go. Like, I'm stoked, right? So my wife, Michelle, and I have a conversation in September that August, that we make the decision it's time for me to quit my job. Like, I'm just miserable. I just got a $32,000 bonus last March. That's right. It's all in the bank. And I have to leave. I have to go. I have to leave. There's never going to be a good time. We just came out of one of the peak periods of shoe selling, which is the back to school season, and it's time to go. Right. So I put in I actually left a 4-week notice. I put in my notice, and my last day is going to be September 10th. The reason I still remember that is because that was also my first day. Totally not planned. But September 10th. So my last day effectively ended up being, I think, September 7th or 8th, because it was a Friday and the 10th was a Monday or something like that. But yeah, I'm done. I'm now unemployed. So I quit my job. At this time, I've figured out how to sell things. So I'm taking garbage off the side of the road and selling it on Facebook Marketplace and on eBay. Okay. Just trying to get my hands on as much product as I can to just sell and just make money. Right. I went from a 6-figure income to $0. I had a free car with that company I had to give away. So I'm also have no vehicle. Okay. I had no laptop because I had to give that back to them too. I did have a cell phone because I had gotten myself a personal phone before I quit, but I have like nothing, right? I have nothing except my dreams, aspirations, and work ethic. So I set out to start this consulting agency, right? I start getting ready to flip Origin Leadership into a consulting agency. About 20, 30 days into that, I've fallen out of love with that idea very quickly. Like I didn't want to do it anymore. It just wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to get my hands dirty, not sit at a desk and tell other people how to get their hands dirty, if that makes sense. Okay. So I started driving Uber. I'd already joined Uber and Lyft just in case. And this consulting thing is not going to happen. I'm damn sure not going back to get a job. Okay. So I start driving Uber and Lyft and selling garbage on the side of the road. All right. While we do this bounce house thing. So then in October, very end of October. And I wish I knew the details on this, but Michelle thinks it's a good idea to go buy another one from Spacewalk, right? So she goes to buy a much, 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 much nicer one. If you go to my website, we still have, it's a newer version of it. I sold that old one and bought a new one. But it's called the Combo Cube, right? So we still have the Cube. It's a combo unit, right? So it's got a bounce house and a slide, basketball hoop inside. It's a 4 or 5 in 1. I don't remember. I think it's a 4 in 1. Dry slide only. So she gets that in October. It immediately starts renting super well, right? Super well, because it's a much better unit. It's much bigger. It's got a slide. Like, it's doing really well. Then the week of Thanksgiving, okay, I have bikes. I have bikes that I got from my buddy Kip, okay? His kids grew out of them. He called me, said, hey, I heard you're selling stuff online. I got these bikes. I just want them gone. Can I drop them off to you? And then you can sell them. You can keep whatever profits. I'm like, hell yeah. So cool little pro tip here for you. Post everything you ever do on Facebook. That's how this all came together. That's the only reason the Jump Off is what it is today, is because I posted on Facebook. I was selling things all the time. Make a big sale, post about it. Make a small sale, post about it. I started getting more serious about it. I made little backdrops so I could have better pictures on eBay. And I make posts about it so everybody knows. I quit my job, I drive Uber, I sell shit. That's what they know, right? So Kip knew that. So he brings me these 2 little kid bikes, right? Little small bikes, like 12-inch bikes. I oil the chains, like, well, wash them up. I put them on Marketplace for like, whatever, dude, $13 a piece or 2 for 20. I don't remember. This dude says he wants them. He comes and picks them up. It's super cold. I remember it's super cold. He gets out of his truck and he comes into the garage and he sees 2 bounce houses rolled up and against the wall, and 1 bounce house that happens to be in the yard. If I remember right, it might have been the freaking combo cube because it was so big we couldn't figure out how to roll it. As it stayed in the yard for like 4 or 5 days because we could not figure out how to roll it. We didn't end up actually rolling it until it got rented. And so this may have been in that period where he came. Now, I also think, I'm not positive on this, but I also think this is the guy that my wife used to rent units from, I think. Again, just like all this serendipity just all coming together. Like the odds are just crazy. But anyways, he comes to buy the bikes from me and says he's actually going to give them to charity. So I cut him a better deal, but I'm like, I kind of need the money, dude. So like, I can't give them to you for free. But I sell them to him for like $10 or something. And he starts a conversation about the bounce houses, right? Asked me how many I have. I said, 1, 2, 3. I have 3. He goes, I have 28. I'm like, holy shit, 28. We go on this conversation. I'm trying to kind of like act like I know what I'm talking about, even though I don't, and learn from him. And then he tells me a place he buys them in bulk, used in bulk. And I ask the information. He's like, my brother's going to kill me, but I'm going to tell you where I buy them from. So he says, Tony, a guy named Tony at Red Stick Entertainment in Baton Rouge. And I have, at the time, I carried these little teeny journals in my back pocket. And I always had a pencil in my pocket. Boom, Tony, right? Shake this guy's hand. He leaves with the bikes. The door is like not even closed behind me walking back into the house. And I'm already calling Red Stick Entertainment. Red Stick Entertainment? Yeah, Red Stick Entertainment. I'm trying to call and get a hold of Tony. The secretary will not put me through. Okay? This is now the week of Thanksgiving. Yes, okay. This is all coming into my brain now. This is the week of Thanksgiving, okay? So it was in the yard, but I don't know why it was in the yard. Maybe we were cleaning it or something. It wasn't in the yard from October when we first bought it. It's the week of Thanksgiving, and I can't get a hold of Tony. The secretary will not put me through to Tony, okay? Tony is the COO of this company. And I laugh. I'm like, you're the COO of a bounce house company. Yeah, okay. So anyways, I can't get through to him. I try the next day. I still can't get through to him. And then my phone buzzes. It's a marketplace listing. Is this available to me? For a Christmas light hustle that I'd started. So my next door neighbor had said I could never get my husband to put up the Christmas lights. I bet people would pay you to put up Christmas lights. So what did I do? I went and made a post about putting up Christmas lights. I don't own a car. I don't own a ladder. And I've never put up Christmas lights before. Somebody in Prairieville, Louisiana, which is about an hour and a half west of me, wants a quote. I find out Red Stick Entertainment's located in Prairieville, Louisiana. Another piece of incredible, super fucking random serendipity. How in the hell did that happen? I'll never know. So anyways, I jump in the truck. I borrow my dad's truck, okay, and jump in it, and I'm getting ready to roll out. I'm going to go do this estimate for these Christmas lights. Even though it's an hour and a half away, fuck it. I got nothing else better to do. My dad's working at home, so his truck's available. My mom also since quit her job, so she's bored, so she's just going to come with me. So we drive out. I show up at this Christmas light thing with my dad's ladder and my dad's truck. Okay, I wore like some work boot looking things that I had, and I brought a tape measure on my thing and graph paper. I start measuring shit. I talked to the guy. I made it look like I know what I was talking about. I start measuring shit. I said, absolutely, dude, let me get back and crunch some numbers. Once I get back to my office, which is just my house, and I'll get you an estimate. He says, okay. And then Red Stick Entertainment was 2 or 3 minutes away. Like, you literally go out and take a left. And so we go and drive there. And I get there. It's this huge building. They got bounce houses out front, beautiful glass. entryway. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is a bounce house company? Like, right? I think they're all like me. I walk in, and there's like a lady at the front desk, like a secretary. I'm like, oh my God, this is wild. I said, hi, is there any way I can talk to Tony? And she looks at me like, she's like, greets me. And then I say that, and she like instantly starts frowning, and she's like, are you Nick? I'm like, I'm Nick. I am Nick. I really want to talk to Tony. I don't remember what I told her. Something about I want to buy used bounce houses, maybe. I have no idea what I told her. But whatever I told her, she reluctantly went to go grab Tony. And so I was a little nervous, right? I'm like, fuck, she hates me now. This Tony guy's going to hate me. I want to buy some bounce houses. This Tony guy comes through the door, is the most just inviting, just warm, amazing person. Invites us back into the warehouse, the first of two warehouses. And we get back in there, and it's just pallet racks of inflatables. And this warehouse was probably 5,000 square foot. No, it's probably bigger than that. It was really big. There was a lot of inflatables in there. There's some teenage kids cleaning over here, and there's a forklift and these dollies that I'm just like, holy shit, they're taller than me. And he's like, yeah, we can pay to get them custom made, whatever. But he walks us out back, and he says that shipping container back there, there's 25 units in it. You can have it all for whatever he said. I don't remember $5,000. I'm like, that seems like a really good deal, but I have nowhere to put that many units. Like, I'm not like that. I have 3, bro. Like, he says, cool. I've got a trailer back there that I believe has 7 in it. I'll sell those 7 to you for $1,800. If you want to take the trailer too, I just need it gone. Another extra $200. It'll be $2,000 for 7 bounce houses and an enclosed trailer. It's a 14 feet trailer. But you can just hitch it up and take it with you. He goes on to say that his trailer guy says the frame is bent, and so he doesn't feel safe using it, and they're too big of a company to take that kind of risk, I think is what he was saying. I'm like, okay. I'm like, it'll drive home. I live an hour and a half away. He said, you can pull it home an hour and a half. Totally fine. I'm like, okay. So now this is the embarrassing part of the story. I tell him I'll think about it and get in the truck and start driving home, and call Michelle, my wife, Michelle, and tell her the whole thing. And she's like, you fucking what? You just bought 7 bounce houses and a trailer? I said, no. I told him I'm going to think about it. She says, oh, thank God. Thank God. Well, how much was he asking? I said, $2,000. She says, what the fuck? You didn't buy the trailer with 7 bounce houses in it for $2,000? I was like, okay, get chill. So I texted Tony. He'd given me his cell phone number. I texted him. I said, okay, deal. We're coming tomorrow. We'd like to see them all blown up. He said, I can't blow them all up till next week. I said, fuck it. We'll just take them not blown up. We'll come tomorrow with $2,000. And he says, gotta be cash. I said, fantastic. I got $2,000. I got that amount of cash at the house. Or maybe I had to go to the bank. I don't remember. But so go back the next day, hitch up, sure shit, drive home. There we go. It is Tuesday before Thanksgiving, I believe. Okay. We get home, right? And it's November, so it gets dark really early. So it's like dusk. We start pulling things out. We're like, oh my God, we blow it up. It's a fish water slide. It looks like little Finding Nemo. We like roll it. We suck at rolling, so it's not easy. We roll it, and it gets back into the garage, and we blow up another one. Right? And it's like this fun thing. We do it for a couple hours, so it's dark, but we couldn't get them all out of the trailer. The next day, we're pulling them out of the trailer. Some of them are kind of good condition. Some of them are trashed, but it ends up there's 9 in there. There's 9. So basically what we're doing is blowing them up, taking a picture, getting them on Marketplace. Some of these things, however, are beyond filthy, right? So to kind of cut this part of the story a little bit, basically my mom and I, with Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Dawn, which don't use Dawn to clean your stuff, but we didn't know. With Dawn and Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and some vinegar for its properties of, we use vinegar for its disinfecting properties, right? We scrubbed every inch of these bounce houses with Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, okay? It's cold, it's November, whatever. And this takes place over the course of a couple days, right? But the best units that are coming out of there, I'm just taking pictures and posting. The ones that are in good condition and not super dirty. So one of those units that was in that, it's like a bounce house with a slide that goes this way, and it's got like a waterfall thing on it, but I don't think it was a wet slide. It was very confusing. That unit like goes gangbusters immediately when I post it on Marketplace. I end up renting it 3 times. No. Let me think. I end up renting it enough times that I think I made $400 over the, right? Because it went over Thanksgiving, and then it went that weekend too. We went and picked it back up and took it back out on Saturday or Friday or whatever. So it rented 2 times. One of the units out of this freaking trailer rents 2 times, makes $400. All right. And then we start cleaning them all and posting them and really trying to scale this, right? All on Marketplace. And then at this time, the Facebook page has become like my lifeblood. So I'm posting on the Facebook page, and that's really where we're doing, probably 20% of our business. The rest is the other 80% are on Marketplace. So anyways, I kind of start scaling this business, right? I've got all these blowers, I've got all these bounce houses. Like we're kind of good to go. We're never really that busy though. So I have 12 bounce houses. The most I ever sent on a weekend was 3, and I got 12 blowers. So I just make the decision, fuck it, let's just sell some blowers, get a little extra cash going. You know what I mean? Kind of see, just whatever. I'm just trying to drive revenue actually at this time. Like I have a spreadsheet I track all the revenue on, and I just want it to go up, right? So I'm like, I don't need this many blowers. So I sell some blowers. I have no idea if it's 2 or 4, but I sell some blowers. We're doing good. Okay. Now let's kind of swing, fast forward to March. Okay. It's now March 2020. Like March, just call it March 1st, right? We have some real traction going as spring is coming. The weather's getting warmer. Things are kind of getting going, right? Now is when we get busy in March, right? That's kind of the start of our official start of our season. We do rentals in January and February, but it's like, and then March pops, okay? So 2020, I don't know this, business is popping. So we have our first ever weekend where I'm going to make $1,000, okay? Which is insane. 5 rentals, maybe it was just, maybe the $1,000 isn't correct now that I'm thinking about that. I think it was just a 5 rental weekend, maybe 4, I don't know. But biggest weekend. I really think it was $1,000. Anyways, and it's like whatever, March 18th, 19th, 20th, something like that. Well, guess what starts to happen? It's March 2020. COVID starts to kind of become the phenomenon that's taking over the news, and God knows what's happening. And so basically, people are advised to not gather anymore, right? So all those parties but one get canceled, okay? I still ended up delivering 1 bounce house that weekend, but I'm a little bit bummed because I have this big weekend, but I'm not crushed because I'm kind of like, it's cool. It was going to come anyway. So after this COVID thing, April or May or whatever, we'll get super busy again when everything opens back up. Like it's just kind of a disappointment because it was now, and now I got to wait for it, right? Well, we all know how that story went. Like COVID never really went away, right? So it's like March 25th-ish. We'll just go with March 25th. We do have some hit or miss rentals here or there, nothing big, okay? School gets canceled. Okay, so we have this water slide rental up in Folsom. It's kind of far away from us. We have this water slide rental in Folsom, and so it's the first time we've ever sent a water slide, ever, and first time we've ever sent this water slide, that Finding Nemo one that came out of that trailer. So me and my wife both go. So, and the kids may have been with us, or the kids may have stayed at my parents' house, I'm not sure. But we go up to Folsom to deliver this unit, right? The kids were not with us. I remember this. Okay, so we set up this water unit. It takes forever because we have no idea what we're doing, but we're both good talkers. So we're bullshitting our way through this. This lady is a sweetheart. She has 3 kids. She doesn't have a ton of money because she's a teacher, but her mom paid for this water slide rental, right? It was $200 or $250. I don't remember. Not very much money. No delivery fee, no nothing, right? 45-minute drive north. We just eat it all, and we're just happy to have the money. Okay. So while we're on that drive, all right, I'm driving, Michelle's riding shotgun. She gets a text from her business partner. They have to shut the salon down, okay, due to COVID, right? The mayor comes out, or whoever came out and said all salons have to close. No ifs, right? It was salons, it was bars, it was restaurants, right? You guys remember. And she's the sole provider of money, right? I'm driving Uber and selling shit on the side, but and Uber's ended, right? COVID killed that for me at this time. So her cutting hair is all the money that we get, right? So now it's over. That's over. She's got no income, 0, zilch, nada. So she's panicking, and I have to flip into leader mode, you know what I'm saying? And so I tell her, look, all right, we're driving in the car still. I said, look, the number one asset that we have to our name is 12 bounce houses. That's our number one asset we have to our name. So why don't you make a post, post all the pictures. Let's do $100 special on all bounce houses which if I remember right, we only had two. We had a small 13 by 13 purple and gold one, and we had the same orange dinosaur that Michelle had already bought. I said, do those for $100, and then we'll rent them for an entire week though. So we'll do a 1-day price for an entire week rental, right? So we'll drop it off on Wednesday, we'll pick it back up on Tuesday. We'll drop it off on Thursday, whatever. Okay, so she makes this post. Now, I don't know any of the details she's really putting in this post, but she makes it look like every single thing in our inventory, our 12 slide inventory, is $100. So then when people start messaging us about units, that one's 150, that one's 175, that one's 200, whatever they all are, right? But she makes it look like everything's $100. So anyway, she makes that, posts it. We get to the house, okay? If I remember right, we went to the wrong house. It was very confusing. We set this water slide up. It takes an hour. We get back in the car, and she grabs her phone, and she's like, holy shit. And she was going to drive because I was going to do something on the... sorry. I get back to go drive, and she picks up her phone that was in the car, and she goes, holy fucking shit. I think I should drive, and you should take my phone. My post went viral. So she just posted it to Marketplace, but it's just bling, bling, bling. Is this available? Is this available? Is this available? Is this available? It turns out, obviously, that it was genius. Okay, now this is totally accidental, but the kids are out of school. That was my thing. I'm like, the kids are out of school. Like, let's make it a whole week, like, right? See what happens. Everybody wants to take us up on this offer, okay? My dumbass had sold blowers. So we have 12 bounce houses, but 6 blowers. So, 5 only, right? Because we got a water slide we just set up. So we got 5 blowers at the house. So she drives, I ride shotgun, and on her phone, I rent out the entire inventory. All 5 blowers are gone, right? All 5 blowers are rented with slides. I'm going everywhere. It's crazy. I have no infrastructure to keep track of any of this, right? I have no way possible to handle all of this workload. So when we get back to the house, I literally like grab a calendar and colored pencils. And if you rent the tropical combo, it's a green line for that week, a yellow line for this slide, whatever. And we just started to kind of figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So the next day I had to wash one of them, and then I set out on my route. Okay. And by this time I bought my little Jeep Cherokee that you've seen in my old YouTube videos. And I had that little black trailer that's in all of my YouTube videos, because I had both of those two things. Okay. I bought both of those in December. So I'm good to go. I just go start delivering, right? In my red shirt, taking Venmo. That's it. I had only paper copies of all the contracts. I hand wrote everybody's information into them and had them sign on a clipboard, right? And I go do 5 rentals, and we're good to go. I then start trying to get my hands on blowers, which I did somehow. I don't remember, but we're able to scale. We have a lot of money coming in from this. And so then we made the decision, we're going to keep buying shit from Spacewalk as fast as we can. So we're buying shit from Spacewalk, water slides, You guys can go watch the video where I buy the Wipeout water slide. That was that era, okay? But it was that moment though, okay? It was the next day. So the moment where Michelle makes the post that goes viral and I rent out the whole thing, like I'm getting chills. Like I literally have goosebumps talking about this. I got my first tip ever from Destiny. Shout out to Destiny and Tana out in Lacombe. First tip ever was from them. That was the first time they rented from us. They still rent from us. They got our 27-foot dual lane going at the end of April. We're gonna go squeeze that sucker into their front yard. But that's that moment, right? So the next day I wake up and I've got all this to go do, and I'm gonna make, like whatever. I'm gonna make like $1,500 that day or something. It was like, and I couldn't handle it all. Like that was the first time ever in my entrepreneurial life, too much coming at me and not enough infrastructure to handle it all. But it was the seminal moment of my entrepreneur life where I'm like, I did it. Like I did it. I'm going to make it as an entrepreneur. Like I'm now an entrepreneur. Like I was just this goofy little side hustler before. Now I did it. I'm an entrepreneur. All right. So I go deliver all those slides. At this point in time in the Jump Off's history, we have no idea if this is going to be a 1-week thing, a 4-week thing, a 2-month thing. We don't know. Michelle and I go into this period of life thinking tomorrow it's going to turn off. Okay. So we don't raise prices. We don't charge delivery fees. Like we don't do all the right things, but out of ignorance. I didn't really know you did any of that. But B, even though we're completely booked out, solid, no units for like a month at some point in time, we don't do anything drastic like raise our prices because we think it's going to turn off tomorrow. We just didn't know. And you guys all remember that early COVID era there in 2020. We didn't know what anything was going to happen, right? So everybody's off of work getting drunk, partying in the streets in my neighborhood. And I'm out delivering bounce houses like crazy, but then coming home and partying like crazy, and then going to do bounce houses again tomorrow hungover, right? So anyways, we get through April and May, and it kind of starts to become obvious that like this is gonna like COVID helped us, that little viral post and COVID helped us scale to here, but like it for all intents and purposes looks like it's not gonna go back down, right? We're buying units as fast as we can, but at this time there's like nothing to buy. We have some water slides. We have some combos now. We have a decent inventory, but it's still a fucking mess because I'm just buying whatever I can get my hands on. I got us up to like 19 units at that point in time. And then I then kind of started to sell off a few that we didn't need or that were trash. I just felt uncomfortable taking them to people's houses. So I was trying to sell 3 shitty ones to go buy 1 decent one. Yeah, and so that was it though. That jump off is off and popping, right? I sell one of my other units and meet this guy that comes to buy it. And he's the one that tells me about the Facebook groups. Oh shit, okay. So I go get in the Facebook groups. That's, if I'm not mistaken, that's where I met Matt of All Star Party Rental, right over in Ponchatoula, next county over from me. We shared an employee, another person named Matt, which I know is confusing, but we shared an employee for a while. That bailed me out and helped me immensely, right? But I met Matt basically through that Facebook group. And then that's where I start learning things. Okay, that's where I start learning things. Like this insurance thing and whatever, right? So that's right about when I get insured is yeah, I think it's summer 2020. I finally get insurance. And Michelle's yelling at me to not do these things because they cost money. If I'm ignorant in this industry, she's beyond ignorant because she's helping clean while her salon's closed, but that doesn't last forever, right? So she doesn't know the ins and outs of the business. And she's a small business owner herself of her salon, but she's not like a take over the world, scale to infinity personality like me. Like I'm psycho, right? So she's yelling at me to not do it. I'm like, I got to. So we get insured. We start doing a little bit of business at the schools and everything like I kind of thought. Then I realized like, oh shit, I needed insurance all the whole while. Thank God I'm good to go now. We did actually have somebody get hurt and break their arm while I was uninsured. So I handled it with poise and empathy and sympathy. I wrote a handwritten card, sent it to them, gave them a free rental. They were great clients anyways. You know what I mean? I had a good relationship with Amy, still do. I talked to her the other day. She still rents from us, you know what I mean? So it's not like there was nothing that ever happened. But I'm a strong believer that, and this goes back from my retail days, but I always said, if you're super cool and the clients, the customers that are in your store all like you, they're not going to steal from you, right? People that like you don't steal from you. People that are shoplifters steal from people they think they're taking from the man. If I'm not the man, they're not going to take from me. And I was historically correct on that. I had very low shrink as my time as a retail manager. And then as a district manager, I taught that to all of my store managers that reported to me, you know what I mean? And the ones that could take that advice and run with it also had very low shrink rates. So my thinking on this was that if people love me, they're not going to sue me, right? And so definitely too big of a risk that I didn't know it was a risk. I didn't know. And you do know, so you have no excuse to not be to operate uninsured. You have no excuse. Now you know it's that big of a deal. Get insured. Okay, so anyways, at this point in time, things are going well. It's 2020. I go through a couple different employees where I was at this time too, totally different side story we're not going to get into. I was trying to be a real estate agent. So in 2019, I needed something to like hang my hat on and do while I tried to scale this goofy consulting thing. So I got my real estate license. I ended up fucking hating being a real estate agent more than anything in the world. The reason is I don't like dealing with real estate agents. Not saying there's not fun ones out there, not saying there's not nice ones out there, but Jesus fucking Christ, the entire industry is just full of slime bags. and interacting with them in a fake way so I could try and make a sale or no, couldn't do it. So I listed one house and sold it and helped buy another house. That was it. No, we didn't sell shit, actually. I listed the house and it never sold. So I helped buy one piece of small property. I hated the industry, so I got out of it, right? So yeah, at this time it's kind of like I'm gonna pursue this bounce house thing. Like, we're making around $2,000 to $2,500 a week, and it's going well. So once we get to May, I switch and go to weekend rentals, not the all week long thing. I switch that to May. We start making more money, which I thought was not going to happen, but we start making more money. And yeah, it's basically like, so Michelle, like, I'm just going to pursue this bounce house thing and try and scale this. Like, I think it's a real industry. I remember conversations with her back in the early days where I'm trying to scale and I want to do Facebook ads and I, want to buy shirts or maybe I did buy shirts. And she was like, "You're doing this wrong. This is not what this is. This is not a business to scale. This is a little cute side hustle to make some extra money on the weekends, whatever. But like, you got to get your ass a real job." That was the conversation, right? So I was going to job interviews, and I got a job offer at every single job interview I went to too. I told them all no, except one. The job I probably would have taken, which was the last interview I went to, which was Trader Joe's. They actually turned me down. They don't like to hire into management from outside, and despite my resume and my great interview, they didn't want to do it. So they were the one that told me no. That's the one I would have taken. Another piece of serendipity here. That's like, had they said yes, I don't think I'd be sitting here in front of this camera. I don't think I'd have a YouTube channel. I don't think I'd have a bounce house business. You know what I mean? But they said no, so I didn't get a job. So anyways, yeah, it's whatever. Call it May, April, June. Let's see, May, June, July, like right in there. August, like I have some employees. I hired somebody to help me clean, hired somebody to help me deliver, while I tried to play real estate agent, and it turned out I fucking hated that. So I took a lot of the deliveries back over myself, and I took everything back over myself. Some of the mega early YouTube videos that is like probably shot tall way, I think, not the correct way for YouTube. Those are like me posting to my stories. Like, I post like 20 stories a day as like I did everything out throughout the day that I turned into YouTube videos. You can go watch those. That's back in this era when I'm doing everything myself. But things are good. There's no slides to buy, so our inventory is what it is, but it's right around 20 or something like that. But a goofy ass inventory, and we're good to go. And we get into winter time, and then I'm getting ready to kind of switch gears and scale my Christmas light business, which I then do to great success. And so I'm dropping off bounce houses and putting up Christmas lights all on the same day. Sometimes it was crazy. So then we get into 2021. So 2021 comes, and I want to get dead serious about this business, right? I feel like almost to the chagrin of Michelle, right? I kind of remember her just not being fully on board with the whole thing. But I want to get super serious about it, right? I want to start this YouTube channel. So I start trying to make YouTube videos, and they're fucking hard, and I abandon it because I just am like, wow, I got too much to do trying to scale this business, doing pretty much everything myself other than cleaning. Shout out to Dominic. My next door neighbor, Dominic Zapata, cleaning everything. But I'm trying to scale, and so I don't do the YouTube thing because I just can't figure it out. I don't have enough time, basically, to figure it out. I mean, I'm working like 14-hour days trying to do everything at the jump off, right? This is the point in time. This is a very important point of this story time with Nick here. I get to the point in time where I start my website. I decide to go with inflatable office, okay? If you don't have a website, you need to get one today, okay? The only reason you wouldn't get a website today if you don't have one is if you also don't have insurance. Get that today, and you can do the website tomorrow. Insurance, website, and then Motorized dolly is next, but that's coming. Website. I decided to go with inflatable office for a multitude of reasons, okay? If you don't have a website and you want to go with inflatable office, they're fucking incredible. I absolutely love them. I have an affiliate link that if you use it, I potentially get paid. If you have less than 10 units, you get to use their software for free. You have to pay $39. Hosting is it. If you have over 10 units, it's $130 a month. $130 a month. This website prints you the money. Like, this website is like an ATM machine that makes you an inordinate amount of money. It's insane. Okay, you need one. If you want to use my link, it's down in the description. Inflatable office, my affiliate link down there. I may make some money if you sign up. Okay. I decided to go with Inflatable Office because one of their sales guys, Lee, is so incredibly nice and patient with me. I drag him through the mud forever, dude. From like January till I start the website. No, probably before that. So probably fall of 2020 up until I finally start the website. I believe it was February of 2021. All right. So Lee's totally patient with me, super awesome. I decided to go with them because of Lee. The other reason I decided to go with Inflatable Office is as I started doing research and looking around, literally every person around me has ERS, okay? At this time, they're the king. They're the biggest, the baddest, the king, okay? And so I'm like, I want to be different than everybody else, so I'm not using ERS. The other one at the time is BCN that I kind of start looking at. And if I'm not wrong, I think BCN was kind of new back then, but I could totally be wrong on that. But they felt new. In their interactions with them, just like they still had a small company feel to them, and I mean that in a good way. Their websites were too bubbly and kiddie for me. Like look at the logo. Tried to go classy and try to build brand. There's no bounce houses, there's no sunsets, there's no palm trees, and there's definitely no children jumping off of bounce houses in my right. Everything for BCN was that, and I wanted nothing to do with that. So BCN was out the window immediately. ERS was out the window immediately. And then here's Lee, this badass sales guy that was so awesome, never lost his temper, never lost his patience, just dealt with me, right? And I'm a nobody at this time, by the way. I have no YouTube channel. I'm just some fucking guy with no website in Louisiana. Like it doesn't, like I don't matter in the world, okay? So I start with IO, launch the site, build the site, spend 2-3 days, building it in WordPress. I know my way around WordPress because of that old blog, Origin Leadership, which I've now spun. It's now nickglassett.com. But I know how to do WordPress. So I basically built my whole site. I did everything myself, other than the stuff that like you have to have support for. Crazy SSL hosting, whatever's. I don't really know, right? But I launched my site. We go live on the site. Now it's kind of like come full circle. We're at total capacity, right? The jump off you see at that point in time is very similar to the jump off you see now, okay? Other than obviously the scale, okay? So let me jump forward in the story to hiring, all right? So I go off and I do everything myself for a long time. I had a guy named Adam Cookmeyer that was helping me, a buddy that I played indoor soccer with in the old guy, over 30 league. Me and Adam decide that we're going to kind of part ways and I'm going to go back to doing everything myself because I'm not going to do this real estate agent thing. So I'm doing everything myself. Okay. Then I hire because I'm about to fucking die. It's like literally right now, 2021. Okay. I go and do this crazy death march over the Easter weekend. Okay. Because I've switched when I got Inflatable Office. Actually back up. One of the main reasons I wanted a website was so I could do hourly rentals and flip units Saturday to Sunday. My inventory was too big. I couldn't keep track of it. There was just no logical way for me to keep track of rentals to flip things with no software keeping track. I had a whole spreadsheet and a thing in my phone. It was badass, but just like totally DIY, like not able to handle capacity. Okay, so as soon as I get Inflatable Office, I switch from all weekend rentals to hourly, right? 6-hour rentals. I'm the only person in my... No. At the time, Best Jump is still operating. So Gary Giffen, who owns Jolly Dolly, lives right around the fucking corner from me. He has the biggest rental company in the area, 50 plus inflatables, crushes everybody. We're all trying to keep up with Gary and Best Jump. And he does hourly rentals, right? So I take that back. There was precedent for me to switch to hourly rentals. But I was nervous. I thought my clients were all going to tell me to F off and I make no money. Nope. Turns out I was wrong. I made more money, okay? And Matt from All Star, shout out to Matt. He was the major push to get me to switch to hourly rentals, not all weekend rentals, was Matt. Told me I'd make more, have happier clients. I didn't believe him that much, but I believed him enough to do it, right? So I switched to hourly rentals. So then kind of fast forward there to, that's when me and Matt started sharing an employee, and the other Matt was coming to help clean, which was a fucking godsend. He was great at cleaning. He could roll everything. He's a great employee. But I'm still doing delivery and pickup all by myself. I then hire somebody Easter. I go into the death march of Easter. There's a YouTube video on that. I go into the death march of Easter, and in that weekend, I almost fucking died. Like, come to Easter, I dropped everything off on Saturday, so I didn't work at all on Easter Sunday. I was so tired and just physically exhausted Sunday. I'm a very positive person. I have a lot of energy, so like I got up and did things and like Easter egg hunt with the kids and like whatever. I did all the Easter things, but it's just kind of like, oh my God, like I've never been that mentally and physically tired at the same time, right? Then the true death march of having to go pick it all back up on Monday. I think I had like every unit rented out. Like I had like 18, 19 units out, something just ridiculous like that. So I made the decision to hire Tyler. I'd interviewed Tyler, I'd hired Tyler, and he couldn't start till summer, but I was so tired. I remember I just texted him, I said, bro, I know you can't start till summer, but like, can you help me with these Easter pickups? You're off of school on that Monday anyway. So that's Tyler's first day. We go start picking up units. We got, at one point in time, we had 11 units on my red trailer. It was so overweight. I can't believe we didn't break an axle. It was terrible. Okay. Another thing I want you to learn from my poor experiences or my poor operation, buy a trailer that can fit what you need. Okay. If you want to future-proof yourself, I know I said something different in my trailer video. I need to remake that whole video. If you want to future-proof yourself, buy a trailer that is 6 feet, 10 inches wide, minimum, or 7 feet, but 6 feet, 10 inches wide, 16 feet long, and tandem axle with electric brakes. Okay. As of the market right now, that's about a $4,000 trailer. I suggest you buy the $5,000 version of that because it's a much nicer trailer. Of the Big Tex 70i is my favorite trailer in the world. It got fucking stolen from us. We don't have one anymore. It breaks my heart because that trailer is awesome. But if you want to future-proof yourself, buy that trailer. I did not have that trailer. I custom built a 6 foot wide by 14 foot trailer because that's what I thought I needed. And I was going to buy a side-by-side razor, and that's actually the size I needed for the razor. So I actually built it for the razor. I was just going to use it for the bounce house business, and then it was a total. I didn't buy a razor, and that trailer is the wrong size for this business. It's overloaded very quickly. We had the back gate. We had it freaking ratchet strapped closed. We had 11 slides on that thing, bounce houses, combo slides, everything. Anyway, me and Tyler go pick up those 11. We go back out, pick up like 2 or 3 more, and then he had to go home, and then I went and picked up the rest of them alone. It was still like a 14-hour day, but like I had help. And it was the greatest thing ever. So from that point forward, it was obvious that the jump off was going to be busy enough to where I started working Tyler into the regular rotation. I kind of talked him into starting work so he could come with me on the weekends. It then goes pretty quickly. Like it actually starts to grow really well. So then I hired his friend, Ethan. Okay. Those 2 guys, if you've seen older pictures of the older crew I have, those 2 guys are the super, super huge jacked up ones, right? They're power lifters. They're both power lifters, and they can bench press a 500-pound slide, right? So I've got those 2 employees and things are going well. That's the first time we split into 2 trucks and I'm not doing all the work, and like we split it up. I give them the easier route and me the harder route at this time because they're new, but things are going well. I'm training Ethan how to clean and roll combos. Okay, we're still cleaning at my backyard. I hadn't built my pool yet, so we're still cleaning in my backyard. And I think Tyler was actually cleaning in the front yard and Ethan was in the backyard with me, if I remember right. But we're cleaning, and so I'm going to teach him how to roll this combo. At this same point in time, a guy that had rented from me, that lived down the street from me, that had moved to Ohio, had started a rental business in Ohio. His name's Kyle Malone, so shout out to Kyle Malone. So Kyle was in contact with me back and forth, just asking advice and mentoring him how to, get better at his rental business in Ohio since he moved to Ohio. And I didn't know him when he lived here. He just rented from me one weekend, and then we kind of struck up a little whatever kind of mutual friendship. And I like mentoring and teaching people, so it's fulfilling for me and for him. So he sends me a message. I can't figure out how to roll this combo, and then I'm about to teach Ethan how to roll this combo because we just got done cleaning a Big Kahuna combo. And so I said, "Oh, it's just like a flash lightning in my brain." I'm like, "Oh, that's the YouTube channel." Like I've been trying to make videos. Like out in the field, and like it's awkward being on camera in front of other people, and like it's hard, dude. Making a YouTube channel is hard. Why do you think nobody has one, right? So I go, Ethan, I'm gonna hand you my phone and you're gonna record this so I can send it to Kyle. Okay. but I need you to pay attention while I do it. I need you to film it and learn at the same time. So I hand my phone to Ethan. I said, no, do it this way. It's YouTube. Okay, so he puts it a long way and hits record. And I do like a mock-up version of how I would talk to a YouTube channel of how to roll this video or roll this combo with intentions of sending it to Kyle. The only way I can send it to Kyle is if I put it on my YouTube channel that I have that's like sucks. So just upload it to YouTube, keep it a private video, and send it to Kyle. And then I'm just kind of like, as at this point in time in my life, as I get an idea is when this really started getting going. Just go, okay? I'd been doing it as an employee before I left, and that's what made me quit my job. I could just fucking go. But at this point in time, I'm having success in everything I try. That's important. Everything I do that I have an idea is a success, okay? So I've got confidence. So I decide, fuck it. I go post it in the biggest bounce house group that I'm in. It had like 6,000 members in it, 8,000 members in it, something like that. I take it's still a private video, so the only people that can watch it is the people that have a link. And I put that link, I said, pardon the crappy production. This is just a test. I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel. This is a good idea of what this content would look like. Let me know your feedback. This is how to roll a combo. Wild rave reviews in there. Like humbled beyond belief. So I'm like, shit, it's time to make a fucking YouTube channel. Okay. So at this point in time, I start actually doing real research of how to make a real YouTube channel. And it turns out it's the same way you make a blog, except for Google, it's optimized for YouTube, which is owned by Google. So it's the same basic activities, different things though, tags and right. You got to make sure you say the right thing in the video and da-da-da. You understand? So I set out to start this YouTube channel. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go like not all in, but like I'm gonna go hard, right? I bought 0 tripods. I bought 0 camera. This is an important lesson here. 0 tripods, 0 cameras, 0 microphones. No, I had an iPhone 10. Every single video was shot on my iPhone 10. Okay, why that's important is again back to the other thing I said earlier. Lean. Start fast. Start dirty. Start small. Don't start big. Don't start fancy. Don't try to get churchy. Just go. Just go. I start recording videos on my iPhone 10, okay? I don't have an Adobe Premiere. I don't edit videos in Adobe. I didn't take a class on how to edit videos. I have a MacBook that has iMovie on it. I don't know how to use it. I just teach myself how to use it. I Google some shit. I make the video as lean and mean as possible. Lower end production. Not a lot of fluff, all right? I just want to get the content out there. The meat and potatoes, the value prop of my videos is the information and the way I present it, not the production value. I'm not Mr. Beast, neither are you. So if you want to start a YouTube video, yes, I will help you. Go make 5 or 10 videos first, then come ask for help, period. Because every person I've ever helped make a YouTube channel has never made a YouTube channel. There's still 0 YouTube channels from people I've helped because they get bogged down in DSLR camera and the right tripod and the lighting and the ring light. I didn't buy any of that shit, okay? Okay, back to the story. So YouTube channel starts. It's May 2021, roughly. April. I think the first video I posted was end of April 2021. It goes well. It goes freaking well. People really like it. I'd done my research. I figured out how to do SEO for YouTube, basically. And I subscribed to a service called vidIQ. vidIQ. It's $10 a month. It's a business expense because this is a business YouTube channel. And they help you with your SEO, your keyword research. All right. I start making videos. I don't make too many videos. And we go out of town on a trip to Nevada to go ride side-by-sides with my in-laws where there's no cell phone service. None. There is no connection to the outside world. Okay, so I did drive up the hill to get cell phone service a couple times to check on the guys because it was Memorial Day. So we're busy. So I'm driving up to check on the guys. Okay, check on the guys. Okay. I think by this time I'd also hired Jacob too, which is a key turning point in the history of the jump off. But I think I'd hired Jacob at this point too. But I'm not like looking at YouTube metrics and shit, right? I would drive up the hill, do my thing, get back to camp because I want to get back down there, go ride side by sides and drink whiskey and beer. So we get done with this camp trip. We're back in the truck. As soon as we get back down, we're headed back to Sacramento. As soon as we get back down and get the cell phone service, I start checking messages, make sure nothing burned down, whatever. The boys did a pretty good job. I'm pretty sure Colin also filled in that weekend too. So shout out to Colin Corrales. I talked to Colin. Maybe Jacob wasn't there, then maybe it was just Colin. But I talked to Colin, I talked to Matt, I talked to Ethan, I talked to Tyler, right? We had some things go wrong, but nothing major. We got a good plan all out. I go look at the YouTube channel. It went fucking crazy, okay? Now I say that adding subscribers to the YouTube channel is not easy. It went from like, right? And you have to have 1,000 YouTube subscribers to monetize your channel, okay? So that just kind of was like, let me just make that my barrier of entry, right? I'm going to go hard AF until I get to 1,000. I'll monetize my channel. Maybe it'll make me a whole bunch of money. Maybe it'll make me not very much money. But at that point in time, we'll just see what happens, okay? But I'm going to go hard till I get to 1,000, basically, is the key there, okay? I went from like 200 subscribers to 600 or 120 to 280. I don't know. The jump was big while I had no cell phone service, to where I was just like, I remember riding in the back of Danny's truck, right? He's pulling his freaking toy hauler fifth wheel, and I'm tired and hungover, and I'm looking at my thing, and I'm like, this is gonna work. This YouTube thing is gonna work. So not only am I gonna go hard, I'm gonna go hard. So we get back, and then I go hard, okay? My goal was to get to 1,000 by December, because I'm gonna make bounce house content, and then I'm gonna switch and start making Christmas light content. So by December, I wanna have 1,000, monetize the channel, and then hopefully in 2022, I'll be making some money off of it so I could take some Saturdays off. That was the whole entire thing, right? But because that barrier of entry to me was 1,000, I was gonna go as hard as I fucking could to get to 1,000, which I did. I made it to 1,000 in mid-July. Trying to do it by December, made it in mid-July, okay? All of a sudden, my phone is ringing with people that need my help. People that, okay, a cold call out of nowhere. Justin from Party Rental Knowledge called me cold out of nowhere to introduce himself and right? And now we have a great friendship and a partnership. We've got a training that we're doing called Event Rental University with Adam Keller, the tent guy from YouTube, right? But this juncture in my life, I can feel it start to change. Like, wow, okay. So I just continue doing YouTube videos, but the jump off starts to scale incredibly fast because Gary Giffen closes his bounce house business, okay? Probably a story for another day. I did try to buy it. I did make a great offer, but I didn't have the money to pay in one lump sum up front. So Gary decided to sell everything independently, like separately, right? Just sell all the bounce houses by themselves. And at that point in time, that was it, right? So just kind of closed the company and sold everything out so you get all the money at one fell swoop. But now there's just this huge void in the market where best jump was the Kings, 50 plus inflatables, $250,000 to $350,000 a year in revenue, gone. Overnight, gone. Okay. Hindsight 2020, I should have taken out a fucking loan and bought it. I should have bought it. If you have the opportunity to do that, please don't make the same mistake I did. Buy it. I just paid cash for my pool, is why I had no money to buy Best Jump. Don't pay cash for anything as a business owner. Finance, everything. Because I took all that money and sunk it into a pool, which we love and we use all the time and is beautiful. But I didn't have the money to buy Gary's company because I sunk it into a pool. Never pay cash for anything unless your accountant calls you and says you need to go pay cash for a bunch of shit or else you're going to get taxed. You need the capital to grow your business. As a business owner, you should pay for nothing cash because you need that capital to help grow your business. Or to say it differently, you can use that capital to help grow your business. If you sink it all into a new truck cash, you just ran out of cash. You now can't go buy something else to add value to your company. It's just depreciating in the truck instead, okay? Mine's just sitting as a pool in my backyard. Had I just financed the pool like a regular person, right? By the way, when I paid cash for the pool, thought I was a genius, thought I was so fancy, thought I was so great. No. Huge mistake. Anyways, with Best Jump gone and Gary out of the industry, or out of the market, here comes the jump off. We can just crush everybody. In that, I made friends with Gary because, right, we were trying to do a business deal. And I'm obviously passionate about this. And he had said, I really want, right? He had spent, I think, close to 15 years, definitely over 10, building that company into something, right? So he doesn't want to just go to some schmuck. He wants to go to somebody that will treat it right and do it well and do well by the clients, which is me. But we couldn't come to terms with it, right? My YouTube channel is like this big, right? So I really got no pull or clout or anything like that at this time. And so it is what it is, right? But Gary links me from the home page. Go to Best Jump. It says, we're closed. Go rent from Nick at the jump off. Link to the page, right? Whoop! Business does this, okay? This is August 2021. We were crushing it, right? But that period of time, August, is the dip for us where we're still sending water slides, but school has started. Water slides are starting to slow down, right? Then you get into fall, right? But we're crushing the huge water slide weekends. We're crushing when we shouldn't be, right? Because we have this go power of Gary linking to us, co-signing for us, okay? We go in that winter. I changed the Christmas light business. That winter, I changed the Christmas light business and start running it correctly like I do now, high-end stuff, and we go apeshit and crush all my goals, everything I ever wanted to do, okay? We then switch back to slides, okay? It's 2022 now. So what happens in 2022? I've now hired more people, okay? So at the tail end of the water slide season, when Gary closed, I hired, okay? I hired Isaiah and I hired Logan, okay? As we get into Christmas lights, they start supplementing Christmas lights. We now get into spring 2022, okay? With Gary out of the picture, the jump off is printing money, okay? I'm talking Crush City. It's not even close. I'm hiring Jacob, Isaiah, and Logan's friends as fast as I can. The only time I've ever hired people without a proper interview was this time period of my life. And I'd been hiring people since the age of 19, okay? You'd get paid to run a route with me, and as long as you weren't shitty, no, I take that back. You get paid to run a route with me, and that was your interview, okay? And everybody that I ran a route with, I loved, right? So I hired, in no particular order, but I think I'm gonna try and get it right. I hired Josh, then I hired Trevor, then I hired Travis, right? So that whole group is a bunch of friends. And they were great. I have to manage them differently because they're friends. They obviously talk to each other outside of work more than they talk to each other inside of work, right? So if you have any people you've hired that are friends, right? It's a big thing. Don't hire friends. You just have to be thoughtful about how you do it. You have to manage them all individually. I don't ever manage Isaiah through Trevor, and I don't manage Josh through Logan, right? I don't try to send messages either directly or subliminal through another person if it's business related. Now, if I need Josh to be here 30 minutes earlier tomorrow and Logan's going to hang out with them, I just say, do me a favor, will you tell Josh to be here 30 minutes earlier tomorrow because we need him here? That's totally fine, right? But I don't manage them through each other. That's the major secret in how to hire friends. If you hired some friends and need some help, they'll holler at me. I got you. Okay, so at this point in time, we're scaling as just like lightning speed. Like, it's insane. I'm buying a new trailer. Trevor is hired because he's awesome, but also because he has a truck in his own trailer, okay? Isaiah has a truck, so he's got one of my trailers on his truck. We were running 4 or 5 trucks, and I only owned 2. It was crazy. Just scaling at light speed. Again, try to stick with this, right? Don't overthink it. Just buckle up and spend money, okay? Scale. Sell your old dirty shit that you're not, right? Because now our clientele also kind of went, but boom, and got a little higher end. Because Gary was so established that the wealthy people just hire the guy that they know could do a good job, which was Best Jump, okay? Now we're getting those, right? So we have to kind of level up a little bit. We're running out of storage units at this time. Okay, we got 2 storage units at this time, 2 15 by 30 storage units. They're 4 doors apart. They face south, so they're just blazing hot. We get yelled at by the owner every other fucking weekend for doing some bullshit wrong. It was awesome. It was one of my favorite times of my life. Okay, so we're scaling. I am dumping money back into infrastructure. Okay, I'm not spending. And at this point in time, actually, worth noting, in 2022, beginning of 2022, I think February, I set out to really go hard on Google Ads. Realized they're hard, and Event Hawk is just kind of getting some traction. So I just partnered up with them. And when I say partner up with them, I pay them. I hired them, but I just hired them. I hired them to do my Google Ads. Woo, they're working. Okay, we get to like probably Mayish. I'm like, God, these fucking Google Ads are so great. I hired them to do my Facebook ads too. Fuck it, we're going in like that. Okay, so I've got those two pieces, but I'm not spending a ton of money. Like I don't have a high threshold because the market's just wide open, and we're just taking it by doing a good job and handing out our goofy little magnets and right. So I'm spending the money on slides, trailers, dollies, electric dollies, like just the infrastructure, right? Totally ignoring stuff that I shouldn't be ignoring because the business is just going to come to us. So I need to make sure we can handle that business. Then once we're settled there is when I'll invest in the other stuff, right? And when I say other stuff, I mean raise the amount that we're spending on Google ads, raise the amount we're spending on Facebook ads, and do SEO work. I know how important that is because of my history as a blogger, right? But I forego that to buy more trailers, to acquire more slides. I'm just buying slides. I'm trying to actually start buying big at this point in time. I'm buying an 18-foot dual lane. Nobody around here has dual lanes because they're a pain in the ass. I've got a bunch of great dudes. So let me buy a dual lane. It starts crushing rentals. So then I go buy a 22-foot dual lane. Crushing rentals. So I'm like, fuck, bigger. Right? So that's what I'm investing my money into. We get to August. We get to August 2022. Everything's great. Everything's grand. Everything's great. We're making so much money. We're going crazy. I buy my wife a Jeep Wrangler, so that way the Armada can be the jump offs, right? So we have 3 vehicles now. Not great for driving an Armada, but it's whatever. I got a happy wife because she's got her Wrangler now, so she has a Wrangler and an Armada, except on the weekends when we need the Armada. We get to August. All of a sudden, Matt, my buddy Matt from All Star Party Rentals in Ponchatoula, texts me, "Hey, who owns Best Jump?" I said, "What are you talking about? We both are well aware. Nobody. Like Gary sold it. What are you talking about?" Website's active with inventory and what looks to be Event Hawk pop-up on it. I go look. Sure as shit. Best Jump's back with a lot of inventory. Okay? I'm pissed. Because I could have bought it. And now I'm blindsided because it's back. So, we are about to drop off. I'm with Isaiah. We're having a killer day. Every drop off we've had is a front yard drop off. We got signs at them all. We're way ahead of schedule. Things are just fancy free. We're crushing records. Boom, that news hits me. I'm instantly in a very, 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 very bad mood, right? And a bad mood for me looks different than a bad mood for somebody else. I'm not like, right, shouting and punching things. I'm just upset, pissed. We get to our drop off. They're late. That's cool. We're a little ahead of schedule. Me and Isaiah just camp out in the truck, wait, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever they pull in. We go start setting up this slide, okay? We're setting up a water slide in the backyard, 18-footer. The dog is growling at me. No big deal, dude. It's a little doodle. No big deal. I say, "Hey, bro, can you put the dog up?" It's really kind of growling and barking at me aggressively. No problem. Puts it inside. Kid lets it back out. The guy doesn't put it back inside. It's growling. And this goes on 4 times, okay? Before I really am like, bro, the dog. Like he's holding his baby, his wife is right there, and the dog is barking at me. We're trying to have a conversation. The dog is barking at me. Like, barking at me. And I'm trying to have a conversation. I'm like, bro, can you put the dog, right? And I'm like, I say it as nice as possible, but all patience is gone. Like, I already got the bad news, the Best Jump bad news, okay? Now I've got this dog bark, I'm shot. My patience are shot. I start kind of being short with the clients. I really pass the torch to Isaiah because he's in a good mood. And I'm trying to go utilitarian where I'm just going to do the hoses and the stakes and shit, let Isaiah handle it. Okay, the family's now over on the back porch. We can't get the hose to work. It's a very frustrating setup, okay? Out comes the goddamn dog again. Not joking, okay? I'm walking back to the truck to grab a zip tie or an O-ring, something stupid, to get the hose to work. Because it is an O-ring, because his hose doesn't have an O-ring on it. Cool little tip for you. Keep a little baggie of O-rings on every truck. It's just easier. Just put an O-ring on and leave. Okay, they're like 2 cents a piece. Okay. Anyway, I'm going back to the truck to get an O-ring. The dog gets ready to lunge at me when I turn my back. Like, I know not to turn my back to dogs, because that's when they bite you. But it, like, the situation was interesting to where, like, I don't remember why I did, because I know not to. And it wasn't like an ignorance thing. It was like I was doing what I thought was right. And the dog started to lunge at me. And I had in my hand, I was carrying around a pry bar that we used to get the tarp stakes out. I was carrying it around, like, for self-protection, like, not even joking. And the dog starts to lunge at me. And I look at the dude, and he's like, I'm sorry, man. And puts the dog inside. And I'm like, it's cool. And I round the corner, and I'm just like losing my fucking mind. I get back, I go over to Isaiah, said, I'm putting this O-ring on this fucking hose, and we're out. Don't see him. Do not extend this fucking setup 1 minute longer. I'm out of patience, dude. I get it working. He comes over. Ha ha ha. Like, yep, we'll be here tomorrow. Later. We get in the truck. And I absolutely come unglued. I'm yelling, shouting, saying things that I probably regret, okay? He was a very nice man. I'm sure it was a very pleasant dog, but the situation was just so I'm still irked about it to this day. It's still an inside joke between me and Isaiah, the whole thing. There's like 10 inside jokes. Anyways, Best Jump's back and big. Their inventory is robust. A company has expanded into my market, bought the domain name with all the SEO juices, and they're back. Okay? I'm pissed. Very bad day for me. Next day, I'm still pissed. All right? Some time goes by, a couple days, and I realize I'm lazy. Okay? You may be thinking, like, what? You're lazy, Nick. You all that, right? Anybody that follows me in any capacity knows all the shit that I get myself into, right? From launching the store and the straps, right? And this whole time, the whole straps thing's been going crazy, and I'm sewing straps. I hire my mom to sew straps. I'm working on getting them in production over here, whatever, right? Lots of things are happening, right? So you're like, lazy? Like, that's the last thing I would think you are. Dude, I was lazy. I knew the business was just going to come, so I neglected all the things that I knew I needed to do. Now here I got big competition. So it's time to step the game up, right? It like awakens the competitor within you. And all the things this big that I neglected from, I got a couple of signs I need to make. I got a couple of signs I have made. I need to sew Velcro on so they can go on the water slide. I need to make some more yard signs that are better. All those things start to come to the front of my mind, and I attack the jump off with renewed vigor. It was amazing. It was a wake-up call that I needed, and that's that. Okay, so we end that season. That was kind of the end of the season, right? We end that season strong. We go through fall strong. The online store, the jumpoffstore.com, it's going strong. Everything's good. We go into Christmas light season. Christmas light season was strong. I kind of changed some things up, so we missed my target goal in the Christmas light business by a good margin too, but we were far more efficient, better suited for it. Like, I changed everything, so that's why we missed it. But I'd way rather miss the goal and do what we did than do it the hard way that I would have done it before. And things are all good. The YouTube channel at this time has essentially turned me into a famous person. Okay, I didn't know this. I went to IAPA. Okay, I went to IAPA 2022. First time I ever went to IAPA. And I got people taking selfies with me and strangers shaking my hand, telling me I changed their life. Like, beyond humbling, beyond incredible, beyond dreams come true. Like, that's what I've always wanted, right? That's what I've always wanted. It's absolutely amazing, right? But I've turned myself into a famous person. People want to do brand deals with me. It's fucking weird. It's cool, but it's weird. The reason it's cool is because it is my dream come true, right? And I have sponsors now. I have corporate sponsors now, stuff like that. The reason that it's scary or humbling is because I'm still the same dude. You know what I mean? Like, every now and then something happens and somebody gets a chance to talk to me on the phone, and they're surprised that I'm the same, like that I'm this. They're surprised. I got that in IAPA a lot, where they're like, you're just so normal. Like, you're the same person I saw on YouTube. Like, I felt like I was just hanging out with you. I watched so many of your videos to learn how to roll this or clean that or whatever. And now you're here talking, I'm talking to you, and you're the same. You're so normal. That's just because that's how I am. Like, I'm just a normal guy. I just have a very, very big passion for teaching and mentoring people. And I have an absolute and utter like drive to never do anything poorly. Like, I just never do anything bad. I only try to do things that are all the way. And it's not like a weird sickness or anything, right? You guys see everything I put out, and I hope it's all high quality. I hope you all like it, right? Anyways, so yeah, so then we get into 2023. So that's IAPA 2022. We get into 2023. Now I am investing in SEO. I have raised the amount that I'm getting, paying on my Google ads and my Facebook ads, and really, 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 really going hard. Really going hard. We now have a warehouse. Okay, I'll give you a little tour of that actually here in just a second. We have a warehouse. If you want something in life, go fucking take it. Okay, kind of goes back to that. I had a warehouse. It was right over there. I can see it right out the window, right where it was. We sublet just the warehouse space. Okay, it's a total of a 1,500 square foot space with a 300 square foot office, so 1,200 square foot warehouse. Except for we only got about 5/6 of it, I would say, because Wes used half of it for his business. He needed like a little section, 15 feet was like, right, and one pallet rack 15 feet long is all Wes used, but he needed it because he shipped stuff out. We got the rest, right? Life changing to be able to have everything in one spot, and the guys can clean, and they don't have to clean in my front yard and then trailer them over to the storage. Like, life changing, okay, but still a pain in the ass. Okay, because I wasn't there. But I'm in an industrial complex now, okay? So the idea was I was going to try and like make some contacts, and then that way, but nobody wants to talk to me. Nobody wants to talk to me, right? They're all running their businesses. Of course they don't. I don't want to talk to anybody around here. So that didn't work out. But I would drive through where my office is now, where it's literally the room I'm sitting in now. I would drive, okay, there's two sections. There's a U-shaped section over there of warehouses like this, and then there's the one I'm in now. And so I drive both the U's once a week, looking for rent signs, but like those would be obvious, would stick out. Literally would park the truck and peer in like the windows. And this unit that I'm in now was a company that made crawfish boiling pots, okay? Kind of an esteemed company, like everybody knows who they are. And nothing was changing in here. Like, did not look like anyone was showing up to this place, but there's still like a desk and a monitor, but look, it like the chair never moved, right? So I started thinking, I'm like, oh shit, the one next door, no, 2 doors down, I'm in 14, 12, I actually had an opportunity to rent 12 at the beginning of 2021, but I didn't take it because it was, I think, $1,200 a month, $1,400 a month, but we didn't know what was going to happen. We did not know how busy the jump off was going to be. So Michelle and I decided that it was a smart idea to pass on it, which is a huge mistake, but we didn't know. But I'd been texting with a real estate agent that had that listed. And so I texted him, like an open, his name's David. I had to go search for him. I couldn't find him on my phone because I had broken too many phones hanging Christmas lights. And so I don't have old enough texts in my phone. And I delete those too. I go back and delete the old ones. But I found it on my MacBook. I went and searched keywords that this complex, right? The road name, the name of the complex, the address, and I found, bing, popped up, David, boom. And it's just his phone number, but in there it says, hey, David, and I had this short conversation with him, and nothing was available. He's a real estate agent, doesn't want to talk to people that they can't sell things to, totally understandable. So it's a very short conversation. So I just cold text him out of nowhere, 2 years later, hey, man, I just want to know if there's anything available in that complex. I know you'd had 12 open before, and I want to know I want to know if it's coming open soon, is kind of how I worded it. And he said, no, not going to be coming open soon. However, I may have the beat on something different. Then all of a sudden he calls me. Hey, bro, it's $2,300 a month, though. Probably out of your price range. I'm like, not at all, my friend, not at all. I'll meet you there in 10 minutes. It ended up being the next day. Come up here, tour it with my wife. She was where I'm sitting now was gonna make a hair salon, and then I was gonna take the warehouse, and then I was gonna build a little square in there to make an office in there, right next to the AC, so I could drop a vent in and have AC. And I was like, done, deal, shake, let's go. Turns out you can't open a hair salon here because it's industrial zoned, and that's against the state board rules. So, which is totally fine. For me, sucks for Michelle and Kylie. Kylie is my wife's business partner. They can't open a salon here. So we're trying to work some other stuff out where they can open their own salon. Right now, they're inside of like a big building where there's other salon people and they rent one room, but they own the LLC they own. But they rent a space. So we're going to try and get them something different. But anyways, they can't do it. So I move in. So now this is my office and I work up here every day. That single thing right there has changed the course of the jump off so much. Team oriented, right? I see the guys every time they ever come up here to clean. I see the guys on the weekends. Like I just get to be around the guys. Something's broken or needs to be addressed. I'm not at my house with all the equipment 15 minutes away. Drive up to a hot ass warehouse where your cell phone doesn't really work, right? I got Wi-Fi here. Like I can just, and then like when I'm bored of sitting in this chair, I can just pop in the warehouse and just fix shit, right? So it's been absolutely game changing having the office up here. And then that pretty much brings us to today. It's where YouTube stuff's going great. Partnerships with other companies are going great. I refuse to partner with any companies I don't believe in. So anything I ever suggest to you, there's a chance I get paid. There's a chance I don't get paid. There's a chance they sponsor me. There's a chance they don't sponsor me. But I believe in them regardless. Okay, I believe in them regardless. And almost always, like if you send me a message and say, where should I buy bounce houses? I'm going to give you a long list. And that on that list is plenty of companies where I haven't had conversations with the owner. Okay. But there's plenty of companies that I have had the conversation with the owner. So like anywhere I ever tell you to go is a place that I co-sign. Like I trust in them. I believe in them. And it's gone absolutely amazingly. The success of the jumpoffstore.com has just blown my mind and just been so much fun to build and just help people with the tools that help them. You know what I mean? And then the YouTube channel is, been a joy. I launched, of course, the Wednesday night live show every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Booze and Biz. You get to drink a beer and hang out with me and ask me questions. I come with one hot topic that I teach on for like 30 minutes. Then we open it up and then we usually just talk and kind of get drunk for the next 3.5 hours. They usually go 4 hours. I then cross-post that to the podcast, the Just Go podcast. It's on all the places you can get podcasts from. I've been absolutely fucking humbled with how many people listen to my podcast. Like that's a dream come true, dude. Dream come true. And then let's see. As of right now, partnered with Event Hawk on a program called Jumpstart. It's a $20 a month online course where you also get access to me, live meetings, Facebook group just for that, Facebook chat just for that. So basically you can ask a whole bunch of new people or me, Tariq, or Jana. You can ask us questions. Me, Tariq, and Jana are all very busy people. So don't be pissed if you don't get an answer right away. But that's called Jumpstart. If you're interested in that, it'll help you go from wherever you are now to at least $100,000. But the stuff we teach has legs past $100,000. The reason that Tariq picked $100,000 is because round about that point, the actions that you take to get to $100,000 get you there, but then does not get you to 200, right? It's totally, you have to change everything you do. No, not change everything you do. You got to keep doing all the things that got you to 100, but then start doing new things to continue the scale of the business, right? So the idea is Jumpstart gets you to $100,000, $19 a month, cancel anytime. You got videos and written word from me. You got videos and written word from Tariq. It's pretty badass. And then I think that's about it. So there you go. That's how I got into the inflatable industry, and that's my story. So let's go do a warehouse store. I promised a warehouse store. So let's go. All right. So, before we go do that, you'll notice around me, okay, and I can't see the camera. It's not in selfie mode right now, but you'll notice around me that like this is like looks real crappy. This looks real crappy. That's because they demoed everything to get it ready to make it a fancy salon, and they were going to make it nice and fancy. And then they found out that they couldn't, right? So they ripped out the floor. So I have no floor. They ripped off the baseboards. So I got no baseboards. And they started painting the walls white. I would have just left them cream. I would have left the shitty carpet, and I would have left the weird, rubber baseboards. But they demoed all of that, and now they can't open a salon. So super shitty for them, dude. I feel awful for them, but it's all good. we'll get through it. Okay, so let's check out the warehouse now. Get the lights on and flip this camera around. Okay, so there's our sink and our bathroom. All right, so then let me do 0.5. All right, there you go. So let's start over here. This is a better place to start. Okay, so here's the front door, rolling door, where we load everything. There's all of our blowers, okay? That's kind of a work in progress there. This is like some big goofy air conditioner thing that doesn't work. So my landlord is getting rid of this. Once this is gone, there'll be some sort of shelf over here. So all these blowers will be over here. Okay. There's our giant pile of cords. That's just the best way to hold them, because if you hang them on a thing, it's bad for the cords. It ruins the cords. So we just hang them all there. Foam machine is airing out. There's our compressor for trailer tires. Okay. All of our tarps, they're in this little fancy. So this is a compost pile. This is a compost pile thingy. Extra trailer tires, a barbecue my wife wanted gone, so we put it up here. Only have one generator. There's our vacuum. Here's all of our manual dollies, and then our little dolly trailer thingy like that. Don't buy that. Don't buy that. It sucks. Okay. And then over here's all the inflatables. So we just run these 2 rows, okay? So these are all dirty, so we just pile the dirty ones right there. And so then starting tomorrow, today's Monday, starting tomorrow, the guys will start to blow these up right over here and cleaning them. But yeah, so we just run 2 rows like this because we have so much space. We don't need to worry about it. And then I don't have to go buy a $10,000 freaking used forklift. But yeah, so they just go on 2 rows. So then this is all combos and water slides here all the way down behind me. And then this little rack over here is all just dry units because we have a neighbor. We have a neighbor next door. And so I don't want to get water, right? See, water comes out of the water slides. So I don't want to get water under the thing and flood their shit. So this is my office. So if we flood that, it's okay. And that's where the sewing machine is. So I'm not too worried. And then that goes outside and that goes outside. So that's why all the water slides and combos are on this side. Okay. And you'll notice they're not on pallets. That's because we have this goofy little forklift right here. We call him Jose Grande. All right. These forks aren't long enough to lift an inflatable on a pallet. It just makes the inflatable do this. Okay. Like that. And then also, if you'll notice, it has wheels. See that? It has wheels. So it can't get under a pallet because pallets underneath them have wood right there. So I'd have to make custom pallets and weld a big long thing on this. So instead, we just stand the inflatable up like this, send it up, and tip it over on there. It works great. We're going to get a real forklift soon enough. But there you go. There's we'll go over here too. Okay, so then this is where the motorized dollies and the forklift all go because they charge. Okay, so I got the little power strip right there to plug them into. So I got this Jolly Dolly in a buyout of another company, but I am sponsored by Rollsall. This is the Rollsall that I broke. I broke this Rollsall. It's a long story, but I broke the motor. So I'm waiting on my new motor. And then I also got new batteries. I got lithium-ion batteries to replace these big, heavy fuckers. So next week, I have my second Rollsall coming, the 40-volt swappable. And then this will be nice and fixed and fancy and back up to speed because I broke it. I'm an idiot. Okay. And then this is our tables and chairs section. So this is 30 chairs. This is 50 chairs. Do not buy these. Only buy these kind. Okay. Rolly carts. A lot of times we put the units on rolly carts instead of pallets. But we have a whole bunch of those. But then you can put chairs on them when you go deliver chairs. Tables, soon to be tents. We're going to be here soon. I don't know where those are going to go. And then this is like all of our equipment, right? So WD-40. This blower is broken. As you'll see, it just needs a new plug, which I have a whole bunch of right here. Okay, these are for our ladder racks for our Christmas light season. That is a new slide liner for an obstacle course. We have hoses. We have Let's Get Lit koozies and jump off stickers. A whole bunch of random tethers, some flags for those sucked. Don't buy those either. Those sucked. I bought some wrong batteries. I bought $500 worth of batteries for the Rollsall, and they're the wrong ones. And then Tommy sent me free ones anyway. So that was dumb. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah. And then this is behind our manual dollies. These are all Christmas lights. So every single one of these boxes here is Christmas lights for somebody. So this is Jessica St. Pierre that lives in Bush, Louisiana. That's her Christmas lights that we go put back on her house. Okay. All of our ladders are all kind of piled in there. This one stays up like this for cleaning bounce houses, but there's stools and ladders and stuff. But yeah, that's a big old brick of stuff. And then this is all Christmas light supplies that we didn't use last season. And then there's also some Christmas light supplies up there. Like those are full of bulbs. That's socket wire. There's 6 cases of socket wire up there. Your pitch hoppers, all your good stuff. But yeah, so then this is Christmas lights. So then what happens once we get to Christmas time is this section and potentially this section too will get moved. So we'll take all the bounce houses off of this. We'll probably just, kind of pile them up over here or maybe in the corner. But these are all on pallets. So I palletized all of these. See? So that way we can just take our pallet jack, which is over there, and then we can just pull all of these over close, right? Like all this stuff will get moved because we don't need all of it. So at Christmas lights season, all this stuff comes over here and takes precedent over here. So that way everything's right by the door. But there you go. That is the warehouse, the jump off warehouse. And I'll show you the office here real quick too. Yeah, dude, I had to have some banner. I had to have some marketing. Okay, so then this is my desk. Okay, so they also threw away my blinds. So there's my new blinds. Okay, all the shirts for the guys. This little thingy holds our keys, so it'll hang up on the wall here. Our walkie-talkies, we use those at Christmas light season for doing big jobs. All right, our little water cooler. Here's the refrigerator, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove to you that I'm right. It's full of beer, full of Bud Lights up there, Bud Lights down there, and then the guys like Twisted Teas, so I got him some Twisted Teas. Coffee maker, and then here's some straps production. So this is our local straps production. So these are made by my local sewer that I've hired, aka it's my mom. But so she makes all of these, and I fulfill orders with these, and then I also have production out of another inflatable company. It's switching. It's going to be Big and Bright Inflatables soon. So we'll still have stuff locally made, and then Big and Bright Inflatables will make a bunch of stuff, and they're going to ship it all here. So there'll be probably like a big ass shelf, maybe here. Yeah, maybe here. I'll move the sewing machine over there, but a big ass shelf right here full of full of all this stuff. And then here's the sewing machine, regular ass sewing machine. Hopefully getting a fancy one, so I can have it, so I can do inflatable repairs with it as well. This chair was here when I got here. It's pleather. It's terrible, but it's kind of charming, so we've left it. There you go. There you go. There you go. So that's it. That's the warehouse tour. My story of how I got into the inflatable business, how I started a YouTube channel, and all the lessons along the way. I hope you learned a bunch. I hope you subscribed. Hope you subscribed to my channel. I'm so bad at telling people to subscribe in the video. And then go watch some more of my videos and just be awesome too. And then join my Facebook group, Bounce House Business Mentors. If you don't answer the questions, you're not getting in. We decline you if you don't answer the questions. And tune in every Wednesday for Booze and Biz. Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central. Booze and Biz. It's on Zoom and live broadcast on Facebook. Let's see. Podcast. Just go. I think I hit all the things. I don't know. I just love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed story time with Nick today. So I'm out. I'm gonna go. Subscribe. Peace.